Does your business avoid hard conversations? Do you avoid difficult situations? Do you? If you do, guess what? Chances are your organization does too. Let's talk about that today. We're also going to talk about the A in our SOAP framework. Yesterday we discussed and figured out, okay, what communication area do we want to improve in our business and improve in starting in, this week. In 4 days, we want to have a plan to absolutely improve it. So step 3 of our process, yesterday we used the 10-3-1 tool to brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to start filling the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Maybe you want to fix something with your email campaign. Maybe you want to launch a new product, whatever it is, whatever the communication improvement area is. Yesterday, you brainstormed ways to start filling the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I picked, of course, the listening, the whole 2 ears, 1 mouth thing, because I think that I personally can always be improving my listening skills, my communication skills via listening. And the tool we're going to use to analyze the alternatives, we came up with at least 10. We picked 3, and we're going to analyze those 3 today using an Eisenhower matrix. Eisenhower matrix has 2 vertices, right? One is important and one is urgent. And you can draw this any way you want, but this is the way I did it for this particular situation with respect to communication. So if the item that you're selecting is urgent or important, if it's both, then you're going to do it right now. So I say if any of your options land in that quadrant, do it today. Take action on it today. Whatever, you're going to take action on something today. If it is urgent, but not significant or important to you, that you absolutely positively have to be the one to do it, delegate it. Just delegate it. Or plan it and schedule. Okay, we maybe need to start over. If it is significant, but it's not urgent that you actually do it, then you delegate it. If it is significant and important to you, then you're going to schedule it. It's not urgent, but it's something that only you can do, like our inner work, like our personal development and growth, like our learning, our reading, working on the business instead of in the business. All of those things, I think, need to be scheduled because they are urgent. They're important, but they're not urgent. If you don't ever do any personal development or personal growth or get any coaching, you can still be successful. So it makes it important, but not necessary. It makes it also significant, but not, again, we get to define all these. Might be significant, but not important right now. You might have other priorities, etc. If it is not urgent and it's a little important, you delegate it. You get somebody else to do it. If it's not important that you actually are the one that has the conversation, go ahead and delegate that. And then if it's not significant and not important, then maybe you just let it go. That is one of the most powerful things I've learned about the Eisenhower matrix. Everything that comes our way does not deserve our attention. Some things just don't deserve our attention. If we have an employee or a person, a team member that's late all the time, it might be somebody that doesn't report directly to me. If it is somebody that doesn't report directly to me, I might mention something to their direct supervisor, but it's up to their direct supervisor to have that conversation, not me. So I don't need to be the bottleneck by horning in on Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, things that are really not my responsibility and none of my business. It's a way to negatively impact, from a leadership standpoint, the people that you're trying to develop to be the best possible versions of themselves. All right, so that's our Eisenhower matrix, and we're going to use that tool today to decide what action we're going to take in order to fill the gap between where we are and what we want to be with the, I say, improvement area, and that we are working on as part of the SOAP framework this week. I know it's kind of discombobulated when I combine 2 things. The only way we can talk about the topics that are most important is some days we're going to talk about 2 things. We're going to do it twice a month for sure when we cover the SOAP framework, which is 4 days. And then close to the end of the month, 5 days, we're going to use our super process. Why? Because I want to make sure that if you don't get anything else out of this challenge, you have those 2 tools in your toolbox to use whenever you need them. Why? One will help us with any challenges, obstacles, setbacks, roadblocks, problems that we run into. The SOAP framework, great for that. And the SOAP framework can do that for your goals too. But I like to use the super process, the process we came up with at the beginning of the year, to help us achieve and get what we want in each of the different areas and aspects of the life framework that we're talking about this year and every year I've used this graphic for 5 years. I probably shouldn't admit it, but I have because it's still applicable today. So, couple of questions. Are there difficult situations and difficult conversations that need to happen in your business right now that aren't happening? What is the cost of those not happening? I'll give you an example of this. I ran an Italian food manufacturing business for 35 years, and we had a customer. They were a great customer in the beginning. I mean, our very best customer. They represented about 80% of our gross sales volume. And they were purchased by another, it was in the food industry, it was a grocery store chain. And they were purchased by another chain. And when that happened, they started to be a very, very difficult customer in terms of what they expected, how they expected it. And it wasn't like anything in our relationship had changed, except their relationship with who they reported to and how they reported had changed. And for a year, they wouldn't honor our price increases. And they treated my people badly, and just a whole bunch of things changed. And I put off literally for a year letting that customer go out of my own fear and doubt and worry about, well, how am I going to replace that sales volume when I'm already too busy doing other things? And when I finally did let them go, everything opened up in my business. We replaced their sales volume and much, much more in 3 months. It took us less than 90 days to totally replace the sales volume we had with that customer. And the intrinsic internal value and the positive impact it had on our organization and on our culture, it cannot even be described. It was so wonderful. It was like almost magical. By releasing that, it opened our eyes up to the possibility of other people that were a better match for us that we could serve. So that is my biggest example and my biggest aha. I never sat down and calculated what was the cost of putting that decision off, because it would have been probably in the millions of dollars. And I didn't want to honestly look at that and beat myself up more about it. I just wanted to move on and move forward with finding new customers. And that was the good thing, is by letting them go, I had to get on the ball and do the things that I should have been doing all along anyway to help the business to be healthier and more stable. And it was still stable. I mean, if you can replace 80% of your sales volume in 3 months, I think you're doing pretty well. So, do you have a situation like that in your organization? And it might just be a little thing, but that little thing is kind of like a big domino. Once you fix that, so many other things that you couldn't even anticipate fall into place, that it's kind of a magical thing to do in your organization. So share in the comments below if you've ever had a hard conversation that you avoided and then you came to regret that you avoided it because you didn't deal with it sooner. I've had several of those in my life, several big ones, and it's those big ones that actually turned the lever and made me more open to, and my culture and my organization's more open to, hey, we need to be honest with each other. And there's a difference between feedback and just criticism or judgment, right? And we all know that they feel differently. So we'll talk about more topics on this down the road. But that's our assignment for today, is share in the comments below if you've ever had a hard conversation that you put off too long and then you came to regret it. Sometimes when we have that hard conversation up front, we can fix whatever is going on, especially with respect to relationships. And guess what? Our businesses are all about relationships. And we can salvage things or fix things that really aren't broken. They're just a little off track. And other times it's just, you need to cut bait and go in a different direction. All right. If I can help you with this in any way, if you need help with your Eisenhower matrix, just ask. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.